The massive ship floated in the dark space above Earth. Commander Thexal looked at the blue planet through the viewing window. His four eyes blinked slowly as he watched the small world spin. The ship was so big that it could hold 1,000,000 beings, but the people on the planet below could not see it. "What do you think, Commander?" asked his science officer Morden. The alien had green skin and long arms that moved like water when he talked. "Should we make contact with them?" Thexal made a clicking sound with his mouth. This meant he was thinking. The Vorthek Empire had found many planets with life. Some had smart beings. Some had only animals. This planet called Earth seemed different. "Show me the data again," Thexal said. Morden pressed buttons on a glowing panel. Pictures appeared in the air between them. The pictures showed humans doing normal things. A woman was feeding birds in a park. A man was helping an old lady cross the street. Children were playing with small dogs. "Look at how gentle they are," Morden said, pointing at the pictures. "They take care of smaller creatures. They help each other. They even cry when they see sad things on their viewing screens." Thexal watched a video of a human woman crying while watching something called a movie. The woman was alone in her home, but she was still sad about made-up characters. "Very interesting," Thexal said. "They have strong emotions, but they are also very small and weak." Down on Earth, Dr. Jiwoo was walking along the beach near her research station. She worked as a marine biologist, which meant she studied life in the ocean. The morning was clear and beautiful. She carried her equipment in a bag and hummed a song as she walked. "Jiwoo!" called a voice behind her. She turned to see Hyunwoo running toward her. He was a linguist, someone who studied languages. He worked with her team to understand how sea animals talk to each other. "You're early today," Jiwoo said with a smile. "I couldn't sleep," Hyunwoo said. "I had strange dreams about lights in the sky," Jiwoo laughed. "Maybe you watched too many science fiction movies last night." They walked to their small research building by the water. Inside, Nayeon was already working. She was an engineer who built special tools to record sounds under the water. Her black hair was tied back and she was focused on fixing a broken machine. "Good morning, Nayeon," Jiwoo said. "Any luck with the hydrophone?" "Almost got it," Nayeon said without looking up. "This thing is old, but it still works better than the new ones." The three friends worked together every day. They were trying to understand how whales talked to each other. It was important work, but it was also fun. They loved being near the ocean and discovering new things. High above them, the alien ship was still watching. "Commander," said another officer, "we have been watching them for 6 months. What have we learned?" Thexal looked at his reports. "They are Category 7 docile species. This means they are peaceful and will not fight. They spend most of their time taking care of things. Look at this." He showed a video of humans at an animal shelter. The people were feeding cats and dogs that had no homes. The humans were gentle and kind. Some of them were crying because the animals looked sad. "They even take care of creatures that are not their own children," Morden said. "This is very unusual. Most species only care about their own family." "And look at this," said the communications officer, Velthara. She showed videos of humans hugging each other when they were sad. They comfort each other when they have problems. They share food. They help strangers. Thexal nodded. "They are clearly not dangerous. They might be the most peaceful species we have ever found." The aliens had been watching human cities, human farms, and human families. They saw people going to work, playing with their children and taking care of their pets. They saw humans crying at movies, laughing at funny pictures, and getting excited about sports games. "Should we contact them?" asked Morden. "Yes," Thexal said. "But we must be careful. They are like small children. We don't want to scare them." That afternoon, Jiwoo was recording whale songs when she saw something strange. The water near her boat started to glow with blue light. She looked up at the sky and saw a bright object coming down from the clouds. "Hyunwoo," she called. "Nayeon! Come here quickly." Her friends ran to the boat. They all watched as a small ship landed on the water near them. It was smooth and round like a big bubble made of silver metal. "What is that?" Nayeon whispered. "I don't know," Jiwoo said. Her heart was beating fast, but she was more excited than scared. A door opened in the side of the ship. 3 tall beings came out. They looked like humans, but they were taller and had different colored skin. One was green, one was blue, and one was purple. The green one raised its hand and made sounds that the humans could not understand. It sounded like clicking and whistling. Hyunwoo stepped forward. As a linguist, he was used to trying to understand new languages. He raised his hand too and said, "Hello, we are peaceful." The aliens looked at each other. The blue one pulled out a small device and pointed it at the humans. Suddenly, the humans could understand what the aliens were saying. "Greetings, small ones," the green alien said. Its voice sounded friendly but also like it was talking to children. "We are explorers from far away. We have been watching your world." "You've been watching us?" Jiwoo asked. "Yes, little one. Do not be afraid. We think your species is very cute." The word cute made the humans look at each other. It was a strange way for visitors from space to describe them. "We are scientists," Nayeon said. "We study the ocean life on our planet." The purple alien made a sound like laughing. "How adorable. They think they are scientists." "We are scientists," Hyunwoo said, feeling a little angry. "Of course you are," the blue alien said in a sweet voice. "And I'm sure you do very good work for your level of development." The aliens asked many questions about human life. They wanted to know about human families, human food, and human feelings. They seemed very interested in how humans took care of animals and helped each other. "Your species is remarkable," the green alien said. "So gentle and caring, so emotional and kind." "Thank you," Jiwoo said, though she wasn't sure if it was really a compliment. "We must return to our ship now," the blue alien said. "But we will be back. We have many things to discuss with your leaders." "Wait," Hyunwoo said. "What are your names? Where do you come from?" "I am Science Officer Morden," the green alien said. "These are my colleagues. We come from the Vorthak Empire." After the aliens left, the three humans sat quietly for a long time. "That was amazing," Nayeon finally said. "Yes, but something felt wrong," Jiwoo said. "The way they talked to us, like we were children." "Or pets," Hyunwoo added quietly. Up in space, the aliens were reporting to their commander. "The humans are even more adorable than we thought," Morden said. "They are curious and friendly. They asked us questions like small children would." "Perfect," Thexal said. "They will be easy to manage. Begin preparations for the preservation project." "What do you mean?" asked Velthara. "This planet is too beautiful to let these primitive beings damage it. We will relocate them to safe areas where they can live peacefully under our care." "Like a nature preserve?" Morden asked. "Exactly. The humans will be much happier when we take care of them properly. They won't have to worry about wars or pollution or hunger. We will give them everything they need." The aliens began making plans. They would return with more ships and more people. They would build special areas where humans could live safely. The humans would be like cute pets in a very large zoo, but as they made their plans, none of the aliens thought to ask what the humans might want. None of them wondered if humans might not want to be taken care of like pets. They had decided that humans were too cute and too peaceful to be dangerous. This was their first mistake. It would not be their last. 6 months had passed since the first meeting with the aliens. During this time, strange things happened around the world. People reported seeing lights in the sky. Some farmers found perfect circles in their fields. Scientists picked up strange signals from space. Dr. Jiwoo and her team had become famous. Everyone wanted to hear about their meeting with the Vorthak aliens. They went on television shows and spoke at universities. Governments asked them to help prepare for the aliens' return, but not everyone was happy about the visitors from space. Captain Minho stood on a hill overlooking his hometown. He was a special forces officer who had fought in many difficult places around the world. His job was to protect people, and he was very good at it. "Sir?" said Yunji, his communications specialist. She was young but very smart with radios and computers. "We're getting reports from all over the world. The aliens are coming back." Minho looked through his binoculars at the sky. He could see dark shapes moving through the clouds. They were much bigger than the small ship that had visited Jiwoo's team. "How many ships?" he asked. "At least 50 in this area," said Taiho, his demolitions expert. Taiho was good at making things explode when they needed to explode. "And there are hundreds more around the world." Minho felt worried. He had read all the reports about the first alien visit. Something about the aliens' behavior bothered him. They treated humans like children or pets. That was not how you talk to equals. In the alien command ship, District Governor Velthera was excited. She looked down at the human towns and cities below them. Everything was going exactly as planned. "Begin the relocation process," she told her officers. "Start with the smaller settlements. The humans will be easier to manage if we take them in small groups. What if they resist? Asked one of her officers. Velthara made the clicking sound that meant she was amused. Resist these creatures? Look at them. She showed her officers videos of humans going about their daily lives. People were walking their dogs, shopping for food, and playing with their children. Everything looked peaceful and normal. They might be confused at first, Velthara said, but once they understand we're helping them, they'll be grateful. The first alien ships landed in small farming towns. The aliens came out carrying devices that looked like weapons but were actually designed to make humans sleep. They had also brought translation machines so they could talk to the humans. "Attention, residents," announced the lead alien through a speaker. "We are here to help you. Please gather your personal items. You are being relocated to a better place." The farmers came out of their houses. They looked confused and scared. Some of them held their children close. "What do you mean, relocated?" asked an old man. "Your current living situation is not safe," the alien explained patiently. "You have pollution, diseases, and wars. We are taking you to special areas where you will be protected." "We don't want to leave," said a woman holding a baby. The alien tilted its head like it was looking at a confused pet. "You don't understand what's best for you. Don't worry. You will be much happier in your new home." When the humans tried to walk away, the aliens used their sleep devices. Blue light shot out and made the humans fall unconscious. The aliens then carried them to their ships like they were moving, sleeping animals. This happened in dozens of places around the world. Captain Minho watched through his binoculars as alien ships landed in the valley below. He could see his neighbors being taken from their homes. "We have to do something," Yunji said. "I know," Minho replied. "But what? We don't know anything about their weapons or their technology." "We have to try," Tejo said. He was already checking his explosives. Minho made a decision. "Yunji, contact all military units in the area. Tell them we're going to fight." "Sir," Yunji said carefully, "our orders are to wait for government instructions." "The government is probably being relocated too," Minho said. "We're on our own." Down in the valley, the aliens were loading unconscious humans onto their ships. They worked quickly and efficiently, like they had done this many times before. Minho's team moved down the hill. They spread out and got into position around the alien landing site. Minho raised his rifle and aimed at one of the aliens. "Remember," he whispered into his radio, "aim for center mass. Fire on my signal. 3, 2, 1, fire." 20 soldiers opened fire at the same time. Their bullets flew toward the aliens with perfect accuracy. Minho smiled. His team never missed. But something impossible happened. The bullets hit an invisible wall around the aliens and fell harmlessly to the ground. The aliens looked up with what might have been surprise. "Oh my," said one alien to another. "The humans are having aggressive play behavior. Should we sedate them?" asked a second alien. "Yes. They might hurt themselves." The aliens pulled out their sleep devices and shot blue light at the soldiers. One by one, Minho's men fell unconscious. Minho himself was hit and felt his strength leaving him. As he fell to the ground, he heard one alien say to another, "Poor little things. They don't understand we're trying to help them." When Minho woke up, he was in a white room. The walls were smooth and clean. There were no windows, but soft light came from the ceiling. He was lying on a comfortable bed, but he quickly realized he could not leave the room. The door had no handle on the inside. Other humans were in similar rooms nearby. He could hear them talking through the walls. "Where are we?" someone asked. "I think we're on their ship," another person answered. "What do they want with us?" Minho looked around his room. There was food and water, books to read, and even some games to play. It was like a very nice prison cell. An alien face appeared on a screen in the wall. It was District Governor Velthara. "Hello, humans," she said in a gentle voice. "I hope you are comfortable. I know this is confusing for you, but everything will be explained soon. Let us out." Someone shouted. "You are not prisoners," Velthara said. "You are our guests. We are taking you to a beautiful place where you will be safe and happy." "We were already safe and happy," another voice said. Velthara made that clicking sound again. "You only think you are happy because you don't know any better. Trust us. We have done this for many species across the galaxy." "What happened to those other species?" Minho asked. "They are all living peacefully in their designated areas. No wars, no pollution, no hunger. They have everything they need. What about what we want?" asked a woman's voice. "You will learn to want what is good for you. Velthera said kindly. The screen went dark. Meanwhile, in a hidden laboratory, Dr. Soman was working with her team. She was a physicist who studied how matter and energy worked. When the aliens first appeared, the government had asked her to study their technology. Wu Jin, she called to her engineer colleague. What do you think about these energy readings? Wu Jin looked at the data on his computer screen. He had managed to record some information when the aliens used their sleep devices. It looks like they're using some kind of focused electromagnetic pulse, he said. But the frequency is different from anything we've seen. Hanul, Dr. Soman said to the mathematician on their team. Can you run some calculations? I want to know if there's a way to block or reverse this energy. Hanul worked quickly with her numbers. She was very good at solving complex problems. It might be possible, she said after a while, but we would need to understand more about how their technology works. Dr. Somin felt frustrated. They were some of the smartest people on Earth, but the alien technology was far beyond anything humans had created. Keep working, she told her team. Somewhere there has to be a weakness. Back on the alien ships, more humans were being processed. The aliens had built special areas that looked like small towns. There were houses, parks, and shops. Everything was clean and perfect, but the humans were not allowed to leave these areas. Invisible barriers kept them inside. The aliens provided food, entertainment, and medical care. They treated the humans very well, like valuable pets in an expensive zoo. This is for your own good, the aliens kept saying. You will be much happier here. Some humans tried to argue. Some tried to fight. Some tried to escape. But the aliens were always patient and gentle. They used their sleep devices when humans became too upset. They spoke in calm, kind voices like parents talking to difficult children. We understand this is hard for you, they would say, but you will adjust. All species do eventually. But the aliens had made one important mistake. They thought all humans were the same. They thought because some humans were gentle and kind, all humans were weak and harmless. They had only met scientists and farmers and families. They had not met soldiers like Captain Minho. They had not met people who had spent their lives fighting and surviving, and they certainly had not realized that even the gentlest humans could become very dangerous when their families were threatened. In his white room, Captain Minho was thinking. He had spent years learning how to fight enemies who had better weapons and technology. He knew that every enemy had weaknesses. You just had to be smart enough to find them. He began to notice small things. The aliens were very confident. They did not watch the humans carefully because they thought humans could not escape. Their doors locked automatically, but they relied completely on their technology. Minho started to make a plan. It would be dangerous. It might not work, but he had to try. 3 months had passed since the aliens began their gentle relocations. Millions of humans had been taken from their homes and placed in the alien preservation areas. The aliens called these places protected habitats. The humans who lived there had a different name for them, prisons. But not all humans had been captured. Jihoon sat in the basement of a destroyed building, typing quickly on his laptop computer. Before the aliens came, he had worked as an IT specialist, fixing computers and networks. Now he used his skills for something much more important. I'm picking up their communication signals again, he told the others in the room. They're not even trying to hide them. Sun-hee leaned over his shoulder to look at the screen. She was a cryptographer, someone who broke secret codes. They're so confident that we can't understand their technology, she said. That might be their weakness. Let me see, said Do-hyun, their systems analyst. He was very good at understanding how complex systems worked. If we can figure out how they coordinate their ships. The three of them worked together in secret. They were part of a growing network of humans who had avoided capture. Some had been lucky. Some had been smart. Some had been warned by friends who escaped from the alien ships. These humans were learning to live underground, literally and figuratively. They hid in subway tunnels, abandoned buildings, and deep forests. They communicated through hidden radio networks, and slowly they were beginning to fight back. In another part of the city, Mira moved through the shadows like a ghost. She had been a professional dancer before the aliens came. Dancing had taught her how to move her body with perfect control and balance. Now she used these skills to avoid alien patrols. She carried a small backpack filled with supplies, food, medicine, and information for other resistance members. Moving at night had become second nature to her. Mira, whispered a voice from a dark doorway. It was Jae-hyun, who had been an urban planning expert. He knew every tunnel, every hidden passage, every secret route in the city. "Any word from the harbor group?" she asked quietly. "They managed to free 12 people from a transport ship," Jae-hyun said, "but we lost 2 good people in the process." Mira felt sad but not surprised. Fighting the aliens was dangerous work. Their weapons could make humans sleep instantly. Their technology was far beyond human understanding, but the resistance was learning to be clever instead of strong. "Jae-hyun, how's the tunnel system coming along?" "Almost finished. We'll have hidden routes connecting all the safe houses. The aliens use flying sensors to watch the surface, but they haven't figured out that we're moving underground." This was one advantage the humans had discovered. The aliens were so advanced that they didn't think about simple solutions. They expected humans to use technology to hide. They didn't expect humans to use old-fashioned caves and tunnels. Meanwhile, Dr. Sumin was making progress in her hidden laboratory. She had been joined by several other scientists who had escaped alien capture. "Young-ho," she called to the chemical engineer working at the next table. "How are the EMP devices coming along?" Young-ho looked up from his work. He was building electromagnetic pulse weapons, using parts from broken human electronics, and pieces of alien technology that the Resistance had recovered. "I think I've figured out how to disrupt their shield systems," he said. "It won't work for long, maybe 30 seconds. But 30 seconds might be enough." "Enough for what?" "Enough to shoot them," Dr. Somin nodded. The Resistance had learned that alien bodies were not much stronger than human bodies. The problem was getting through their energy shields and personal protection devices. "We need to test this carefully," she said. "If it works, we can start making more of them. And if it doesn't work, then we need to think of something else." Back in the alien command ship, District Governor Velthara was reading reports from around the world. Most of the news was good. Millions of humans were now living safely in the protected habitats. They were being fed, cared for, and kept away from all the dangerous things in the world. But some reports were troubling. "Commander," said one of her officers, "we're having equipment failures in several sectors." "What kind of failures?" "Communication devices going offline. Transport ships losing power. Sensor networks experiencing interference." Velthara thought about this. "Are the humans responsible?" "We don't think so, Commander. These are sophisticated technical problems. Humans don't have the knowledge to cause this kind of damage," Velthara agreed. Humans were gentle, emotional creatures. They might be upset about being relocated, but they didn't have the skills to fight advanced alien technology. "Probably just normal equipment wear," she decided. "Run standard diagnostics and replace any broken parts." She was wrong. The equipment failures were not random. They were carefully planned attacks by human resistance teams. Mira crouched on a rooftop, watching an alien patrol walking down the street below. There were 3 aliens moving slowly and confidently. They carried devices that could detect human heat signatures, but Mira had learned to hide her body heat using special blankets. She spoke quietly into a small radio. "Eagle 1 to base, 3 targets moving east on 5th Street. "Roger, Eagle 1, came Jahoon's voice through her earpiece. "Sparrow team is in position." Down in the sewers below the street, 4 resistance fighters waited with Young-ho's homemade EMP devices. They had practiced this operation many times. "Wait for it," whispered the team leader. "Let them get directly overhead." The aliens walked slowly down the street, checking their sensors and talking to each other in their clicking language. They had no idea that humans were watching them from above and below. "Now," the team leader said. 4 EMP devices activated at the same time. Invisible electromagnetic energy shot up through the street and hit the aliens. For 30 seconds, all their technology stopped working. The aliens looked around in confusion. Their shields were down. Their weapons were not responding. Their communication devices were silent. That was when the resistance fighters came out of the sewers. 3 aliens went down in 15 seconds. The humans grabbed their equipment and disappeared back underground before any other aliens could respond. "Eagle 1 to base," Mira reported. "Package collected. Moving to secondary position." Similar operations were happening all over the world. The human resistance was small but growing. Every successful attack taught them more about alien technology. Every piece of alien equipment they captured made them stronger. In the protected habitats, humans were also beginning to resist in their own ways. Captain Minho had been watching the alien guards for weeks. He had noticed that they followed the same patterns every day. They were very organized but not very creative. "They're treating us like animals in a zoo," he told his cellmate, a farmer named Dowan. "They think if they keep us fed and comfortable, we'll be happy." "Some people are starting to accept it," Dowan said sadly. "They say maybe this is better than our old lives." Minho felt angry. "This isn't life. This is being a pet." He had been working on a plan to escape. It was dangerous, but he thought it might work. The aliens were so confident that humans couldn't escape that they weren't watching carefully enough. That night, Minho put his plan into action. The aliens had given each human a small device that they were supposed to wear at all times. The device monitored their health and location, but Minho had figured out how to remove it without setting off alarms. He waited until the middle of the night when most aliens were sleeping. Then he carefully opened his door using a technique he had learned from studying how the aliens operated their technology. The corridors of the habitat were dimly lit and quiet. Minho moved like a shadow, using skills he had learned in military training. He found the central control room and slipped inside. The room was full of computers and monitoring systems. Everything was written in alien language, but some of the displays showed pictures that were easy to understand. Maps of the habitat, status reports on human health, security camera feeds. Minho found what he was looking for: the communication system. He couldn't read alien writing, but he could recognize patterns. He found the controls that sent messages to other alien facilities, and he began to send a very special message. He couldn't write in alien language, but he could send something that any human would understand. He accessed the communication network and sent the same message to every alien facility around the world. The message was simple. "This is Captain Minho, Korean Special Forces. To all humans receiving this, you are not alone. We are fighting back. Resistance networks are forming everywhere. Do not give up hope." He sent the message over and over, using every communication channel he could find. Within hours, humans in protected habitats around the world were receiving his message. They couldn't respond, but they knew they weren't alone, and they began to plan their own forms of resistance. Some humans started sabotaging the habitat systems. They were careful to do small things that looked like accidents. Food dispensers that broke down, entertainment systems that malfunctioned, transportation vehicles that stopped working. The aliens noticed the problems but thought they were just normal equipment failures. They had no idea that humans were deliberately causing damage. "These systems are not designed for such emotional creatures," one alien technician told another. The first major attack happened on a Tuesday morning. Colonel Sungri stood in the command center that the human resistance had built in an abandoned subway station. Maps covered the walls, showing alien positions around the world. Red lights marked places where humans were still fighting. Blue lights marked areas that had been liberated by the aliens. There were far too many blue lights. "Status report," Sungri said to his team. Chae-young, his chief strategist, pointed to a map of Asia. "We've confirmed resistance networks in 47 countries. Total active fighters approximately 50,000. Against how many aliens? Best estimate? 2 million, with more ships arriving every week." Kyung-min, their psychological warfare specialist, looked up from her computer. "Colonel, I've been analyzing alien communication patterns. They're starting to worry about the equipment failures and missing personnel." "Good," Sungri said. "Fear makes enemies make mistakes." Before the invasion, Seungri had been a career military officer. He had fought in conflicts around the world and had studied military history extensively. He knew that smaller forces could defeat larger ones if they were smart enough. But this was different from any war he had ever studied. The enemy had technology that seemed like magic. Their weapons could disable humans without killing them. Their ships could appear and disappear from radar. Their shields could stop bullets. The only advantage humans had was that the aliens underestimated them. "Chae-young," he said, "what's the status on Operation Awakening?" "All resistance cells are ready. We have teams positioned near major alien facilities on every continent." "And the new weapons?" "Dr. Soman's people have produced over 3,000 EMP devices. They're not perfect, but they work." Sungri nodded. For months, the human resistance had been fighting small battles and gathering information. Now it was time for something bigger. "Send the signal," he ordered. "Begin Operation Awakening." Around the world, resistance teams received the message. They moved into position near alien command centers, transport hubs, and communication facilities. In New York, Mira led a team through the subway tunnels toward an alien processing center. They carried backpacks filled with explosives and EMP devices. In London, Jihoon and his cyber warfare team prepared to hack into alien communication networks. In Tokyo, Dr. Soman's weapons team got ready to field test their latest inventions. In Moscow, Captain Minho, who had escaped from his alien prison 3 weeks earlier, prepared to assault an alien command post. The attacks began at exactly midnight, Greenwich Mean Time. Mira's team emerged from the sewers beneath the alien facility in New York. The building looked like a cross between a hospital and a prison. Thousands of humans were being held inside, waiting to be transported to alien colonies. "Remember," Mira whispered to her team, 30 seconds when the shields go down. We have to move fast." They activated their EMP devices. The alien shields flickered and died. Immediately, human fighters charged into the building. The aliens inside were shocked. They had never seen humans act aggressively before. Their first instinct was to reach for their sleep weapons, but the humans were ready for this. They wore special helmets that Young-ho had designed to protect against alien stunning devices. The alien weapons hit them but didn't work properly. "Impossible," one alien said in its clicking language. "Very possible," replied the human who shot him. Similar scenes played out around the world. In dozens of cities, human resistance teams attacked alien facilities simultaneously. They moved fast, hit hard, and disappeared before alien reinforcements could arrive. But they also did something else that surprised the aliens even more. They rescued other humans. In the London facility, Jihoon's team didn't just destroy alien equipment. They also freed 300 captured humans and helped them escape through the tunnel systems that Jaehyun had built. In Tokyo, Dr. Soman's team not only tested their weapons but also liberated an entire alien transport ship full of human prisoners. In Moscow, Captain Minho's assault team turned their attack into a full-scale prison break, freeing over 1,000 humans in one night. The aliens had expected humans to fight like animals, individually, desperately, without coordination. Instead, the humans fought like soldiers, with discipline, planning, and concern for each other. Security Chief Kekstar was in the command center of the main alien ship when the reports started coming in. "Sir," said a communications officer, "we're receiving distress calls from facilities on all continents." "What kind of distress calls?" "Coordinated attacks. The humans are using some kind of electromagnetic weapons to disable our shields. They're also demonstrating knowledge of our facility layouts and security procedures." Kekstar felt something he had never felt before when dealing with humans. Worry. "Casualties?" he asked. 17 dead, 43 injured. "But sir, that's not the worst part." "What's the worst part?" "They rescued over 5,000 human prisoners." District Governor Velthara was called to an emergency meeting. The alien leadership was confused and angry. "How is this possible?" demanded Fleet Admiral Morthek. "These creatures were classified as non-threatening." "Our intelligence was accurate," Velthara insisted. "Humans are emotional, caring, peaceful beings." "Peaceful beings don't coordinate military attacks across multiple continents," Kekstar pointed out. "It must be a small group," Velthara said. "Most humans are still docile. A few individuals are probably having some kind of mental breakdown from the stress of relocation." But even as she said this, she wasn't sure she believed it anymore. The evidence was mounting that humans were not what the aliens had thought they were. In the psychological warfare department, Hyungmin was working on something special. She had been studying alien communication patterns for months. Now she understood enough of their language to do something that had never been tried before. "Dong-yun," she called to the former journalist working with her team. "Are you ready?" Dong-yun nodded. He had been a war correspondent before the invasion. He was used to working in dangerous situations and finding the truth. "Jisoo," Kyungmin said to their behavioral psychologist, "what's your assessment?" "The aliens have a rigid social hierarchy," Jisoo replied. "They follow orders without question. If we can make them doubt their leaders, their whole system might break down." Kyungmin smiled. "Then let's make them doubt." Using captured alien communication equipment, they began broadcasting messages throughout the alien fleet. But these weren't messages asking for mercy or surrender. They were messages designed to exploit alien psychology. "Attention Vorthak Empire forces," the message said in perfect alien language. "Your leaders have made a critical error. The species you are attempting to relocate is not a Category 7 docile species. Humans are a Category 1 apex predator species. Your leaders either did not know this or they sent you here without telling you the truth. Either way, you are in extreme danger." The message continued with fake scientific data showing human military capabilities, human history of warfare, and human technological adaptation speed. Humans have been the dominant predator species on their planet for over 100,000 years. They have eliminated or conquered every other intelligent species they have encountered. They are currently allowing you to think you are winning so they can study your weaknesses. The message ended with a warning. "Recommend immediate evacuation. Do not trust your superiors if they tell you otherwise. They may be planning to sacrifice you to save themselves." The message spread through the alien fleet like a virus. Many aliens began to wonder if it was true. After all, their recent encounters with humans didn't match what they had been told about human behavior. At the same time, human weapons technology was advancing rapidly. Dr. Taeon, a biotechnology researcher, had been studying alien biology using samples collected from the battlefield. She made a disturbing discovery. "Changmin," she called to the former Special Forces medic working with her. "Look at this." She showed him microscope images of alien blood cells. "Their immune systems are incredibly specialized," she explained. "They've probably never encountered diseases from other planets." Changmin understood immediately. "You mean Earth bacteria and viruses might be deadly to them? We don't even need to create biological weapons. We just need to expose them to common human illnesses." It was a terrible realization. Humans could potentially wipe out the entire alien invasion force using nothing more than the common cold. But it also showed how different humans were from what the aliens expected. The aliens had assumed humans were simple, harmless creatures. They never considered that humans might be carrying microscopic weapons that could kill advanced alien beings. As reports of human attacks continued to pour in, the alien leadership finally began to understand the truth. They had not invaded a planet of gentle pets. They had invaded the homeworld of one of the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Humans didn't look dangerous because they had learned to live peacefully with each other. But when threatened, they could coordinate like a hive mind, adapt like viruses, and fight like demons. Fleet Admiral Morthek called another emergency meeting. "I'm reading reports of human technological adaptation that should be impossible," he said. "They're reverse engineering our equipment in a matter of weeks. They're coordinating attacks across their entire planet. They're developing weapons specifically designed to kill us." 6 months after Operation Awakening began, the war had changed completely. Admiral Junho stood on the bridge of the captured alien battleship that humans had renamed Liberation. Through the massive viewing window, he could see Earth below, blue and beautiful and free. "Status report," he said to his command crew. Yuna, his chief of strategic planning, looked up from her displays. "All alien facilities on Earth have been either destroyed or captured. The last alien holdouts evacuated 3 days ago. What about their fleet in orbit? 12 ships remaining out of the original 300. They're maintaining position beyond the moon, but they're not engaging." Min-Sok, head of captured alien tech integration, joined the conversation. "Admiral, we've successfully reverse-engineered their faster-than-light communication system. We're now in contact with resistance movements on 47 different planets." Admiral Junho nodded. The war had become something much bigger than just defending Earth. It had become a galaxy-wide liberation movement. The transformation had been remarkable. It had started when Dr. Bo Young made her breakthrough with alien quantum communication technology. Working with her team members Wonho and Seoyeon, she had cracked the aliens' most advanced systems. The key was understanding that they think in collective patterns. Dr. Bo Young had explained to the resistance leadership. Their entire society is based on following orders without question. But their technology reflects that weakness. Once humans understood alien technology, they had adapted it faster than the aliens thought possible. What had taken the aliens centuries to develop, humans reverse-engineered in months, but the real surprise came when humans started contacting other species that the aliens had preserved. It turned out that the Vorthak Empire had been doing this for thousands of years. They traveled through space, finding planets with intelligent life, and relocating the inhabitants to protected areas for their own good. They had convinced themselves that they were helping primitive species by taking care of them. In reality, they were destroying civilizations and turning free beings into pets. The humans had been just the latest victims. But unlike the other species, humans had fought back. Now, sitting in the command center of a captured alien ship, Admiral Junho was coordinating the liberation of entire star systems. "Admiral," called the communications officer, "we're receiving a message from the Kepler 442 system. The local population has successfully overthrown their alien overseers using the weapons and tactics we provided." "Excellent. What about the Proxima Centauri colonies? Full liberation achieved 2 days ago." "The aliens abandoned the system entirely." Admiral Junho smiled. "The war was no longer about Earth. It had become about freedom for every intelligent species in the galaxy. But the cost had been high. In the early days of the full-scale war, both sides had finally stopped holding back. The aliens had abandoned their non-lethal approach and started using weapons designed to kill. The humans had responded by developing increasingly deadly countermeasures. Dr. Taeun's biological weapons research had proven devastatingly effective. Common Earth bacteria, harmless to humans, were deadly to alien immune systems. Entire alien ships had been neutralized by soldiers, carrying spray bottles filled with strep throat cultures. But humans had also shown a capacity for psychological warfare that terrified the aliens. Kyungmin's propaganda campaigns had convinced thousands of alien soldiers to desert or surrender. Dongyun's fake intelligence reports had caused alien commanders to make tactical mistakes that cost them entire fleets. Most frightening of all, from the alien perspective, was how quickly humans learned. Every captured alien ship became a source of new technology for humans. Every defeated alien unit provided intelligence about alien tactics and weaknesses. Within 3 months of serious fighting, human forces were using modified alien weapons that were more effective than the originals. Human ships, built using alien technology but designed with human creativity, outperformed anything in the alien fleet. The problem, Admiral Junho had explained to a gathering of world leaders, is that they thought like bureaucrats, not warriors. They spent so much time managing their empire that they forgot how to fight. Humans, on the other hand, had never forgotten how to fight. They had just learned to be selective about when they did it. The turning point came when Captain Minho led the assault on the main alien command ship. The operation had been planned for weeks. Human intelligence indicated that all the top alien leaders were aboard the ship for a high-level meeting about the human problem. Remember, Minho had told his assault team, "We want them alive if possible. Dead leaders become martyrs. Captured leaders become proof that they can be defeated." The attack had been swift and brutal. Using a combination of captured alien ships and modified human weapons, Minho's team had breached the alien flagship's defenses in under an hour. The aliens inside had been completely unprepared for human boarding tactics. They had expected a technological battle fought at long range. Instead, they got human soldiers moving through their corridors with rifles, explosives, and absolute determination. District Governor Velthara had been captured in her command center, staring in shock at displays showing human forces overrunning her ship. "This is impossible," she had said to Minho. "Your species is classified as non-threatening. Your species is about to be classified as defeated," Minho had replied. The capture of the alien leadership had ended organized resistance throughout the solar system. The remaining alien forces had either surrendered or fled. But the real revelation came during the interrogations. "We don't understand," Velthara had said to her human captors. "Our scientists studied your species for months. You showed empathy, compassion, creativity. You cared for weaker creatures. You helped each other without expectation of reward." "All of that is true," Dr. Jiwoo had replied. She had volunteered to be one of the interrogators because she had been among the first humans to meet the aliens. "Then how can you be so violent?" "Because," Jiwoo had said patiently, "the things you saw as weaknesses are actually our greatest strengths." She had explained something that the aliens had never understood. Humans were dangerous precisely because they cared about each other. A species that would risk its life to save strangers would fight to the death to protect their families. Humans were unpredictable because they were creative. A species that could create art, music, and stories could also invent new ways to fight and survive. Humans were adaptable because they were intelligent. A species that could learn languages, solve complex problems, and understand abstract concepts could also reverse engineer alien technology in a matter of months. You saw us feeding stray animals, Jiwoo had said, and concluded we were harmless. You didn't think about what it meant that we became the dominant species on a planet full of predators. You didn't wonder how creatures that seemed so gentle managed to survive ice ages, plagues, and natural disasters that killed off bigger, stronger species. The aliens had made the classic mistake of confusing kindness with weakness. They had observed human civilization during peacetime and assumed that was all humans were capable of. They had never considered what humans became when their survival was threatened. Now, as Admiral Junho looked out at the stars from his captured alien ship, he reflected on how much everything had changed. Earth was free. The human resistance had become the human space navy. Captured alien technology had advanced human science by centuries almost overnight. But more importantly, humanity had taken its place as a major power in galactic politics. "Admiral," said Yuna, "we're receiving a transmission from the Vorthak home system. What do they want?" "They're asking for peace negotiations." Admiral Junho considered this. The humans had won the war, but the galaxy was a big place. There were billions of aliens in the Vorthak Empire, most of whom had never been involved in the invasion of Earth. "Set up a meeting," he decided, "but make it clear that any peace agreement must include the liberation of all species currently being held in their preservation programs." "All of them, Admiral?" "That's thousands of different species on hundreds of worlds." "All of them," Junho confirmed. "Freedom isn't negotiable." As peace negotiations began, the aliens finally started to understand what kind of species they had chosen to fight. Humans didn't just want to win the war, they wanted to win justice for every intelligent being the aliens had ever enslaved. The peace treaty that was eventually signed became known as the Galactic Liberation Accord. It freed over 200 million intelligent beings from alien protection programs. It established human colonies throughout the galaxy, and it created a new interstellar organization dedicated to protecting the rights of all intelligent species. The aliens had achieved the exact opposite of what they had intended. Instead of preserving human civilization in a controlled environment, they had unleashed humanity into the galaxy. Instead of keeping humans safe and contained, they had given humans access to advanced technology and star travel. Instead of protecting other species from human influence, they had turned humans into the galaxy's most effective liberators. Years later, when xenobiologists studied what had gone wrong with the Vorthak invasion, they identified several critical errors. The aliens had confused cooperation with submission.